All right, so I'm gonna go through, basic tools that I carry with me every day. This is my tool pouch. I carry it with me on every call. Um, a lot of younger technicians, especially, I've noticed, they think they've got to have every single tool with them on every single call. Which, if that's what you're into, fine. But me, I like to save my back. I can fix the majority of problems with what's in this tool bag, and when I can, it's because I got to go back to my truck and get a part anyway, so I can grab any other tools that I might need then. The majority of problems I can carry these right here and take care of them. Of course, the first thing is a cordless drill. This is what I like. I like a Makita. I just had better service out of them. You use whatever brand you want to, as long as it's not Craftsman. You can't be a heat and air guy and use Craftsman. That's a joke. I don't care what you use. Next thing, a good flashlight. Sometimes we have to crawl in crawl spaces, up in attics, looking back into furnaces and package heat exchangers, whatever. So you got to have a good flashlight. I like a headlamp. That way I can see what I'm looking at and still use my hands. Need a good multimeter. I like one that has multiple functions. This one, for instance, I can do temperature if I plug in a temperature probe, which we'll use that. I've got the temperature probe in my truck. I usually don't keep that in my bag here unless it's summertime. Of course, we're in winter right now, but that way I can check superheat and subcool on systems. You want to be able to do check your capacitors. That's what the microfarad reading there is. You want to do ohms. Check for ground on the different things, check relays and whatnot. Of course, your voltage, AC, amps and voltage, volts DC and millivolts DC for checking flame sensors. That's the meter I use. It seems to do just about everything I need. So it's relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other meters, but this one's, I've had it for several years and it's giving me no issues. Next thing is the trusty 11-in-1 screwdriver. As long as you don't lose the tips or use them improperly, they'll last you a long time. As you can tell, that one's fairly new because I lose my tips. But they're well worth it. You can pick one up for between $12 and $15, and it's got several things, several different tips, 1/4-inch chuck, 5/16 chuck, and on this one it's also got the 3/8 chuck, so I can take most everything apart with that. It's handier. It's better than having 12 different screwdrivers in your pocket. A pair of channel locks or a crescent wrench for caps and everything else. Sometimes taking bolts out, nuts out, adjusting tension belts, whatever. You gotta have those with you. There's just no telling when you need that. These are strippers and crimpers. I do a lot of butt connectors. I feel like they're more secure than wire nuts in some cases. So I like to crimp a lot of things. And I can strip anything from 18 gauge to 10 gauge stranded with these. Which is majority of the time all I'm dealing with wire size, and a pair of alignment pliers. I can use that for stripping larger gauge wire, twisting if I'm like doing a box where I'm having to twist my grounds together, neutrals together, and then it's also a hammer. An 11/32 nut runner. And that's an odd size for the most part, but that fits your nuts on your blower motors, your condenser fan motors. When you're having to attach them to the fan shroud, that is the size of that nut, and it's a lot better than using a crescent wrench on there. It's a lot faster, and you can get cranked down on it better. So I keep one of those in my bag. Service wrench with an Allen head for king valves. And it can be used for more than that too, but that's the main thing I use it for. shutting down refrigeration valves, you know, even sometimes on set screws for blowers. You can't get into them all the time, and these really come in handy for that. And then just regular knuckle buster set. There's a lot of different size Allen heads out there on different things. A lot of the mini splits they've got different size Allen heads in them. For some reason they can't just go universal and keep it one size, so you better keep that. This is just another little service wrench. It's 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch ratcheting wrench for real tight spots. You can get in behind something and really work that thing. Of course, you can tell that one's pretty old, but it's a very handy tool to have. Other than that, you know, I carry, of course, a service screwdriver for thermostats, which that's becoming a thing in the past. A lot of them now are push pin. Then just a multitude of different chucks, nut runners, you know, everything from 5/16 to star bit to square heads. I carry all that stuff. Outside of that is, oh, here we go, valve core removal tool. I use this thing a lot in the summertime. Walk up to a unit, it's low on refrigerant, you find the valve core is loose because the guy that welded it in didn't remove the valve core, burn it up, so it's leaking. Or sometimes they stick and you have to pull them out. You know, people crank down pretty hard on their valve core sometimes, and they have to be replaced. So that really makes it handy. You can isolate the system without having to pump the unit back and all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much it. That's what I carry with me on every job. Again, you know, I may get up there and need something else, but 9 times out of 10, this is all the tools I need to fix most anything. Outside of that, I'll just walk back to the truck.